I'm just going to let this dictate when it will start. YouTube family, what's going on? I'm Patty Jackson. I'm your auntie of pop culture. It's not cute not knowing, and now we're going to know. We're going to unpack a lot of stuff. Let's get this hung in. I'm Patty Jackson. I am your auntie of pop culture. It's not cute not knowing, and now we're going to know. John Amos, his family is speaking out. The late actor passed away, or we found out he passed away the day before yesterday at the age of 84. He actually died on August 21st. When did the family, his daughter, and the other family members find out? Same time we did, 45 days later. So what really happened? I said something's not right about this. John Amos, it's listed, he died of dementia as well as congestive heart failure. He has already been cremated. Are those his wishes? If you're cremated, you can't go back and digging up bodies. He was 84 years old and known for his many movie roles and what he meant to the culture as James Evans on Good Time, America's first black TV dad. I know, there was Fred Sanford. But you didn't look at him as a father figure. You looked at him in The Adventures with Lamont. But James Evans, such an important character in Good Times. When this role was first presented to Esther Roll as a TV show, they wanted her to be a single mom raising her kids in the Chicago project. And she said, no, I want to have a husband so we can see a family. 3 years into the role, John Amos couldn't take the buffoonery with everything centered around the character JJ, played by Jimmy Walker. They killed him off the show. That was a moment when they did that. And years later, right before Norman Lear died, he expressed regret at how that was all handled. But it was groundbreaking television with this character of James Evans. When you think about The West Wing, The Mary Tyler Moore Show, of course, Roots, the older Kunta Kinte, of course, Coming to America. He just played this central figure in movies, and he was part of the culture, and I think that's why there's such emotion tied to this. Why wasn't his daughter contacted? And then I wonder with them, y'all went 45 days after 2 weeks. No one said, we ain't heard from Dad. A lot of murkiness there. He was in charge of his son, and for the past year and a half, there have been reports and rumors and investigations about, was John Amos the victim of elder abuse? The son is saying that he's putting out a documentary called America's Dad to talk about their relationship. But what happened there? Why was there such estrangement, and why was the daughter left out? Somebody on some side is not telling the truth, but just very sad that this would all happen to this man at the end of his life, that his death would just be under the scope of what really happened here. But very, very sad. Wendy Williams' ex-husband, and he the ex, Kevin Hunter, wants their divorce ruling overturned. He says he is the victim of fraud, misrepresentation, misconduct. He says because at the time of their divorce, Wendy withheld $48 million from him. Now I don't know where he gets $48 million, because they can't even find the money that she was given to do that Lifetime documentary that aired earlier this year. There's some funny business going on. You know, I've never trusted that guardian who's in charge of her. But for Kevin to come out and say, Judge, overturn it. See, if they were to overturn this divorce, and I don't see them doing it, he would be in charge again. He needs the money. With the side chicken and baby. You know that old saying, some people only want you when you got money, but if you ain't got no money, they don't want nothing to do with you. I don't see a judge overturning their divorce. Now, I'll tell you one thing, in other instances of something just ain't right. They said she put out a statement telling people I told you so. First off, she's in the throes of Alzheimer's. Oh, she did tell us on her talk shows years ago about Puffy. She'd been talking about it. She was one of the first. But she's in the throes of Alzheimer's disease brought on by alcoholism. She also suffers from aphasia, which takes your ability to speak. It robs you of your language. It's like a frontal brain disease. So I said, she didn't make those comments. People are just making up stuff at this point because she is not well. And if she was well, she would have a grasp of what was going on around her, between the ex-husband, between the guardian. Who would have thought that her tremendous career would end the way that it did? I know she wasn't everybody's cup of tea, but this is really a shame that everything would come down to this. Kevin Hunter wants that divorce overturned. I doubt if a judge would even overturn it, but he wants to be back in control of her life. Beyoncé, I think the Grammys this year is going to be a mess. I do. Luke Bryan, American Idol judge, country superstar, made an interesting point, and I had to agree with him. Beyoncé famously shut out of the Country Music Awards. She didn't get nominated. But the People's Choice Country Award, she was nominated for like 17 and got nothing. Luke Bryan says, if you want to be part of that country atmosphere, come into our world. And I was like, I thought it was strange. I was hoping she would do, I don't know, a little mini tour or maybe show up for the award shows. I know what happened with the Dixie Chicks, but if you're just seen as a gimmick, and I loved the Cowboy Carter project, but if you're just seen as a gimmick, no one's going to take you serious. Now, the Grammys are going to be interesting. They say she's already submitted Cowboy Carter. Now, if you submitted in the country, and of course for the album of the year, and she still don't get it, because she's never won album of the year, and Jay-Z went off about that last year, it's going to be a little embarrassing. It is. I think it's going to be a mess. The competition at the Grammys, it's going to be something else. You got Taylor Swift, you got Billie Eilish, you got so many, the newbies, the Sabrina Carpenter, you got so much. The competition is going to be something else. And will it be a good night for Beyoncé? I think it's going to be a good night for Shaboozey. He's on the cover of Billboard magazine. He has that bar song, Tipsy, which in my opinion is the song of the year. He's been topping the country charts for weeks, and he's an African-American male. I could see him getting Best New Artist. I love that song. I don't drink a lick, but I don't know. Something about that song that I like. But I think Shaboozey is going to wind up being a big winner. The nominations come down after the elections, I believe around the 9th. I think there's going to be a lot of controversy when it comes out. I love the ESPN documentary series 30 for 30. It's been going on for 15 years. They're gearing up for a big anniversary and a big 1-hour special. How do you get 150 films to talk about it in a 1-hour episode? It's this Sunday on ESPN. Stories that were just shocking. I remember one Sunday, there was a young kid, a basketball phenom out of Chicago. We would be around the same age, and he was gunned down, and he was going to be that superstar that Michael Jordan turned out to be. I watched this thing on a Sunday afternoon. I work on Sunday night. Well, I cried all the way to work, and I was all sad during work because it was that moving, and how his death really ripped apart his family. And he was that basketball phenom that people were talking about at that time. It was around like 1981. But that was like one of my favorites. But boy, oh boy, whether it was boxing or baseball or football or basketball or the Olympics, they just told these great, great stories. But the 1-hour special is this Sunday. And guess who's ready to settle down? This makes me laugh because I think he's a heartbreaker. Rapper, actor, Common, smooth, good looking. He says he could see himself marrying Jennifer Hudson. He done had Serena, Tiffany Haddish, Angela Rye, Erykah Badu. He's had some good women. Do you think he's serious? Maybe he is I'm ready to settle down. To me, he's such a heartbreaker. Me and Toya had a chance to be with him about a couple years ago. And you know, somebody's real charming and smooth and a great smile. That's how he was. And when we called him Heartbreaker, he just giggled. Common, don't you go and break Jennifer Hudson's heart. I think she's handling this romance well. They keep it quiet. Keep it quiet so everybody is not all up in your business looking to see. Jennifer Hudson treats us very well. He's not the center of her interviews and things like that. Keep it quiet, girl. But do you think he's serious? Now, speaking of Jennifer Hudson, this Sunday, it's the 50th anniversary of the American Music Awards, and Jennifer Hudson is leading the tribute for Whitney Houston. You got Shaka Khan going to do I'm Every Woman. Brad Paisley, the country star, saluting the first black country artist, Charlie Pride. You got to think, 50 years ago, it was Charlie Pride who won the award for Best Country Album and Best Country Artist. Shaka Khan's doing I'm Every Woman. Mariah Carey is celebrating the 20th anniversary of the emancipation of Mimi. The American Music Awards are good. When I was a kid growing up, to me, it was the best award show. And the 50th anniversary is this Sunday. CBS, Paramount Plus, but you're going to see all of those great stars together. But Jennifer leading the tribute for Whitney Houston. It's not cute not knowing. Y'all know to leave those comments down below. Whether you agree or disagree, it's okay to agree to disagree. We're not a monolith. Leave your comments down below. Speaking of monolith, y'all know I do a podcast, Patty and Millennials, and this week's is, what do black men want? All men are not a monolith, and neither are all black men. But what do a lot of black men want in relationships, on the job front, politics? What do black men want? What are they seeking? You know, there's a lot of trauma with many black men. I think healing and understanding and to be heard in a world and a society that's very hard. Y'all got to check this out because the conversation was funny. Spotify, Pandora, SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, iHeartMedia Podcasts, and Pandora. Yeah. The conversation is good. It's Patty and the Millennials podcast that I've been doing for several years, so check it out. Thanks for joining us. Leave a comment. The weekend edition goes up early. Not 10 a.m., noon. So it goes up early to go into the weekend. But leave your comments. Subscribe to the channel because we're itching there and we're growing and we're almost at 78,000. So subscribe to the channel for the giggles, the laughs. Who knows how this wig is situated on my head? It's just fun conversation. Just think of me as the auntie you have fun with. Subscribe to the channel. Thumbs up. Have a good one, y'all, and thank you for joining me. I'm Patty Jackson. I am your auntie of pop culture.